Hello everybody, LimeKnight74 here. Pokemon has been a huge part of my life ever since I was a little kid growing up with Red and Blue in the Kanto region, so I figured it's about time for me to make an updated list of my top 10 favorite Pokemon of all time. Now I know that my top 10 will change from here to there from time to time, but as of right now in 2022, this is my definitive list of my favorite Pokemon. On this list, I'm going to be talking about the looks of the Pokemon I grew up with, if I like them or not in the anime. I'm not a competitive Pokemon player by any means, so this is just based on solely whether I think they're cool or not. And keep in mind, this is my personal opinion, so if your favorite Pokemon isn't here, that is okay. This is my personal list. So without further ado, we're going to just jump right into the video and get started. The first Pokemon on this list at number 10 is the Pokemon Haunter. I've always been a bigger fan of Haunter than I was of Gengar. Because Gengar was a trade Pokemon, I used Haunter a bunch of times on my teams throughout the games. I love that its evil looking face always seems like it was up to no good. When I saw Ash use Haunter against Sabrina in the anime, I just fell in love with this Pokemon and his silly prank-like behavior. I especially love the fact that you could ride on Haunter in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. That was super cool in my opinion. This is just a cool ghost Pokemon that I just fell in love with and I absolutely love.
Cut it out!
Number 9 on my list is the Pokemon Abomasnow. I first found out about this guy when I was playing the Pokemon Platinum game. I always thought this guy looked like a hulking badass tree monster. I love the fact that he doesn't look like he takes crap from anyone because he's just such a massive looking tree guy. I always thought ice types were super cool, and there wasn't really that many cool ice types out at that time, and this was the first ice and grass type Pokemon I had ever seen. I thought that was one of the coolest things they had ever done in Pokemon. I recently reused this guy on my Brilliant Diamond team, and I love this Pokemon so much. Number 8 on my list is the Pokemon Electrode. The main reason why I think Electrode is such an awesome Pokemon is because it's absolutely hilarious looking. I love his face. It always has the most smug look on its face, like it knows you can't do anything about the explosion that's about to happen. One of the things I loved in the earlier games was that you never knew if an item was actually an item or if it was just an Electrode. And when it fooled you, his face looked like it was just saying, "Ha! Gotcha, bitch!" Electrode may not be that strong, but I love putting this guy on my team because it just has a little special place in my heart.
What now? Aftermath!
Number 7 on my list is Totodile. Alligators are my favorite animal, so when Gen 2 and Johto offered an adorable little alligator as my starter, you know I had to get it. I love its color, its cute design, and the sprite always looks like it's just so happy. Ash's Totodile in the anime was another reason why I love this Pokemon so much because his personality was awesome. This is my favorite starter Pokemon, and I've been dying to see a new form or even just being able to bring it into the newer games. I really want more love for Totodile. Number 6 on my list is the Pokemon Machamp. This guy was the OG musclehead Pokemon. Growing up, I always got picked on a bunch, so I thought having this super strong, badass Pokemon was always a wish of mine. I actually love the 4 arms. I know a lot of people think it looks silly, but I love the idea that this Pokemon can use all 4 of its arms to just continually throw a barrage of punches at its opponent. Anytime Machamp was available in a game, I'd get my buddy to trade me a Machoke so that I could have a badass fighting Pokemon on my team. Number 5 on my list is Hisuian Zoroark. This is the newest Pokemon that is on my list, seeing as that it was just released in Legends Arceus. The original Zoroark was just a middle-of-the-road Pokemon for me, but when Arceus introduced this form, I instantly fell in love. Not only does it look cool, but it became a ghost type, which is my favorite type of Pokemon. So not only did it become my favorite type, but they added all of these awesome ghost tendrils that made Zoroark look like he could just grab you and drag you into the shadows. This was easily the best Pokemon they added in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Number 4 on my list is the original Kanto Raticate. Now I know most people see this Pokemon and just think it's a big rat evolution from a Route 1 Pokemon, and you're right, but I love this guy. I don't really know why, to be honest. I just think it's a cute little rat that's actually pretty useful in some games. I mean, its stats are pretty middle of the road, but if you get a Raticate that has Super Fang, and then bring it down to health, Hyper Fang it, and then if it has anything left, you can just quick attack. I don't know, I just love this little rat. I think this Pokemon, it's really just fun to put on my team. I just love this stupid little rat. I can't stand its Alolan form though. Can't stand it.
Raticate Super Fang Attack now!
Number 3 on my list is Sharpedo. I was introduced to this monster of a Pokemon back in Pokemon Emerald. This thing was like the most fierce and deadly water Pokemon I had ever seen before. I'm a huge fan of sharks, so when I found out that they're making a giant shark Pokemon, I just had to add it to my team. And just when I didn't think Sharpedo could get any cooler, Generation 7 and Sun and Moon made it where you could ride on the Sharpedo as a riding Pokemon. How awesome is that? I love the idea of that so much, I even got a tattoo of Pikachu riding on a Sharpedo on my arm. This is just a incredibly badass Pokemon, and the only negative thing I can even think about this Pokemon is I just not a huge fan of its Mega form. But overall, absolutely monster of a Pokemon. Number 2 on my list is the Pokemon Feraligator. Now remember how I said alligators are my favorite animal? This is the ultimate alligator Pokemon. This Pokemon took everything that made Totodile awesome and just made it 10 times better. This is by far my favorite starter Pokemon of all time. One of the things I actually liked about this starter Pokemon, it's one of the few starter Pokemon that actually kept its form from the original form. Most of the time, they kind of changed their looks, but this one stuck to being an alligator. I just love how he just looks like an extremely reliable partner. He looks fun and silly, but when he can get mean and serious real fast when he needs to. I just love this guy so much, and I really want him to be used in more like modern games, so I can just use Feraligator in the newer games.
それにしてもまあすごい顎と牙を持っておるもんじゃ。こんなのでガブリとやられたらドワー!
My number 1 pick for my very favorite Pokemon of all time is the Pokemon Gastly. Now remember how I said I like Haunter more than Gengar? My favorite Pokemon in the line is actually Gastly. Gastly is just so goofy and cute looking that I just had to put it as my number 1. I just love its creepy looking eyes and just how it's a giant ball of poisonous gas. One of the things that made me love this Pokemon is I just loved how in the anime it had just a fun prankster type of personality along the lines of Haunter, and it would always go around pranking Ash and stuff. Ghost types are my very favorite type of Pokemon, and this is the best one of them all. And that's why it is my number 1 favorite Pokemon of all time. Well, there you have it, folks. There is my current top 10 favorite Pokemon. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe to keep up with all of my content that I'm creating. I have more list videos prepared in the future, and we'll see you guys on the next video.